Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday, the 14th of November 2025. In today's news, we have a lot to get through again. It's supposed to be the International Week, it's supposed to be quiet. Oh my goodness, we've got so many different little things to talk about. And we're going to start off with this, which is, in yesterday's video I told you that Alex Francis Neil, had been nominated for Manager of the Month for October, and Femi Azeez had been nominated for Player of the Month for October. We have the results. They were announced today, Friday morning. As expected, you can see Frank Lampard, I knew that he would get it. And the Player of the Month is also a Coventry player, so they just gave it to Coventry, probably because they couldn't be bothered to do two separate trips with two different trophies. Cynical? No, not me, but there you go. So quickly moving on. That was from EFL.com, by the way. This is from southernnews.co.uk. Millwall wingers' superb strike against West Bromwich Albion nominated for Championship Goal of the Month. So yes, Femi Azeez has been nominated for another award that he probably will lose to a Coventry player because, we got to get up their asses. So yeah, what's going on here? Femi Azeez's phenomenal long-range strike against West Bromwich Albion has been nominated for the Championship Goal of the Month award for October. This is the one that Billy Mitchell pinged the ball over the top, and then he took it down, cut inside, and then whipped it into the corner. I'm not going to play it. You've seen it, you know. The fellow contenders are Jaden Philogene, Joe Gelhart, and Aaron Ramsey. So there are no Coventry players, so you might have a chance. But it's a vote. So, democracy manifest. How can you have a goal of the month and then have a vote? It's not like you need people that are very learned in the business of goals and goal scoring to maybe they can have a vote. But to have a public vote, which you can vote on, you have to go to, where is it? EFL.com, and then there's a story on there that's titled Cast Your Vote for October's Sky Bet Goal of the Month. It closes on Monday the 17th, and then they don't reveal the winner until Friday the 21st. That seems a long time to wait, but I'm sure nothing dodgy is going on in those days while we're waiting for the result to be announced. So there you go. Now, today, Friday, under-21 game, played at Cameron Road. It did go ahead, but bizarrely they moved the kickoff to an earlier half an hour. So it was supposed to kick off at 1:30. They moved it to 1 o'clock. Why was that? I don't know, but it seemed to work out, and the game carried on. So there you go. And they won. That's their third win in a row. So here we go. Under-21 secure third win in a row. And this is from millfc.co.uk, the club's official website. Mill's Under-21 secure third consecutive Professional Development League win against Queen's Park Rangers on Friday afternoon. Goals from Frankie Baker and Harry Taylor gave the Young Lions all 3 points at Cameron Road on Friday afternoon. The first opportunity of the game fell to QPR as Radwan Wallaha Hassan saw an edge-of-the-box strike saved down the throat of Casper Lindner in the Mill goal after 2 minutes. The deadlock was broken just 5 minutes later as Reece Bangor Williams intercepted a loose pass, drove forward and slid the ball through to Frankie Baker, whose fancy footwork saw him enter space in the box before being brought down by Corey Ajeti Brew. The ref pointed to the spot and Baker stepped up to convert the penalty, one for his sixth goal of the season, blasting his spot kick through the gloves of Charlie Warren in the visitors' goal into the bottom left corner. Zach Lovelace went close shortly after as Baker's crossfield ball from the right to the left flank met Ben Drake, whose perfectly weighted lofted pass met the right foot of Lovelace, but he saw his shot caught by Warren. Lovelace had the following opportunity, showcasing some excellent footwork when cutting in from the left side to take it past the QPR backline before seeing a powerful low strike saved in the bottom left corner. Jake Coombs and Radawalana Hassan had a chance each in a positive 4-minute spell for the Hoops, with Coombs seeing a close-range effort saved comfortably by Lindner and Hassan's powerful shot from 12 yards being thwarted by the calf of Jet Dyer. The West London side went close again as Jaden Putman's fizzed effort at goal from outside the box was tipped over. Lindner was tested again as Hassan went one-on-one with Millwall's number one, who made himself big to deny the striker with his right leg. Hassan went close twice more before the break, heading over from the crosses of Ajeti Brew and Coombs. Kevin Nugent's men ended the half stronger, going close on two occasions in first half stoppage time. Sheldon Kendall's well-drilled cross met the outstretched foot of Baker in the 6-yard box, whose subsequent shot was saved by the keeper's body. Kendall was involved again, cutting in from the left flank and firing at goal, but his attempt was straight at the QPR number one. This Millwall momentum continued into the second half. That was just the first half. Almost doubling their advantages, Timothy Akindelini's sliced clearance allowed Baker to race towards goal. He kept the ball with some good footwork before laying the ball off to Jack Howland, who fired over. Coombs nearly brought the visitors back level as he saw a low effort come off the near post before being claimed by Lindner. Rangers began to grow into the game, but it was the Young Lions who scored the second goal of the game on the 65-minute mark. A Ben Drake outswinger corner perfectly met the head of Harry Taylor, whose downward header found its way past the goalkeeper after a deflection for the centre-back's second goal in 3 weeks. It was almost free shortly after as a Millwall trialist, more on that in a minute, dispossessed Ajeti Brew to go one-on-one with Warren, but his following right-foot strike was well saved from 12 yards out. Baker nearly had a brace as he drove through the final third, entered the box and saw a powerful driven effort saved at the near post. Jayden Celestine-Charles was the next to go close as the substitute was sent through on goal after some great work from the Millwall midfield, but he also saw his one-on-one opportunity stopped by Warren. The visitors did give themselves a lifeline as Coombs made his way into the box and fired into the bottom left corner with a minute to play. Shortly following the restart, a superb run from George Bowman from right back to the edge of the box allowed the defender to play in Baker, who almost wrapped up the 3 points as his right foot strike went just beyond the far post. The game ended 3-1. No, it was 2-1. It was 2-1, wasn't it? It wasn't 2-1. It wasn't 3-1. It was 2-1. The game ended 2-1 to Kevin Nugent's side, a third victory in 10 days, which has put them up to 7th in the Professional Development League. Again, there's some confusion with the tables. Next up for the Young Lions is a trip to South Wales in Premier League Cup action against Swansea City U21s on Friday the 21st of November, so next Friday. And that should be in the stadium, not the main stadium, but the stadium up the road. They should allow people to go to that game. So this is the team. They don't have the subs, but there is something weird going on. So the team is Lindner, Beaumont, Drake, Mansour, Harry Taylor, Dyer, Lovelace, Bangor, Williams, Frankie Baker, Howland and Kendall. The subs of Sanford, that's Ronnie Sanford, the new signing, Whitby, Trialist, Celestine-Charles and Forbes. And the scorers are Frankie Baker, 7 minutes penalty spot, and Harry Taylor, 63 minutes. Right, so following the game on Ladbrokes In Play live betting service, because you get a graphic on screen that tells you, oh, the ball's up here, the ball's down there, oh, this is a shot off target. So you get information, which obviously this game wasn't available to watch. There were live tweets on Mill's Twitter pages, Mill Academy's X page. So, on the Ladbrokes service, on 34 minutes, they said that Millwall made a substitution. Mill Academy's X page did not announce the substitution, but they did announce it at half time. But they announced it as happening. They didn't say it happened in the 34th minute, which they were doing live updates before then. But they waited until half-time and they said, oh, there's been a change at half-time. Well, they didn't say at half-time, but there's been a substitution. We've restarted and there's been a substitution. So they intimated that the change was at half-time. So I don't know what's going on. How would Ladbrokes know about a substitution that got made early? Like, what's going on? And when I tell you who got substituted, it might make sense. The substitution was Lovelace on 34 minutes. So you could say maybe it was pre-programmed. He plays 30 minutes, but he starts and plays 30 minutes rather than ending and playing 30 minutes. They have done that in the past. So, maybe it was pre-programmed, but did he get injured again? Is he injured again? He had one good game in the last under-21 game on Tuesday, and he's playing now. Did he get injured? Because why would you not live tweet the substitution? Why would you try and pretend that it was made at half-time like it was a pre-programmed half-time substitution? I guess so, Yeah, that's kind of weird. So we wait to see. Did he get injured? I don't know. Obviously, there's a game next Friday, so we'll see that. Another interesting thing to note, Danny McNamara's played in the last 3 under-21 games, didn't play in this game. Is that because he's injured again now, or is that it now? He's back with the first team training, and he's probably going to be considered for matchday squads going forward. So we wait to see. But yeah. Now the try list. They've listed him here as a trialist, but in the team sheet that they hand out at the training ground, he has listed under his name, which is Caleb Redhead. If that name rings a bell for you, it may be because we were linked with him in August, and I did cover this story at the time, and he's played in a number of under-21 games now, always as a trialist. So the thing is, they did that with the Sanford guy. They listed him as a trialist, and then a couple of days later they announced that we had signed him. So are we going to sign this guy? Because this is like the second time he's come back. So this is from InsideFootball.com, but this is a story from August that I've covered before. He's a player. If you don't know, he was a junior player. He was under 18 player at Crystal Palace. They let him go in July. He's also played for the Granada under 20s. And he's even scored for Granada under 20s. So he's a striker, but he can play anywhere along the front line. But yeah, I think he's just played junior football. I don't think he's gone out on loan anywhere. So yeah, now moving on to this. This is from SofaScore.com, and you can see. So they've changed the format of the competition, so the tables doesn't make sense. But that's Mill's third win in a row. They've started to get in a groove. They've started to find their way. They've got players back from injury. And, they've started to get results, which is good to see. So we're now up to 10th in this table. But this table is North and South combined. But that's not how the playoff places are going to be decided at the end of the season. I think you just need to be in the top 8 in the South Division. So you can see we jumped above QPR. We still got a game in hand of them. You can't see it here, but we're on 15 points. Cardiff are on 17 points. We play Swansea, that's in the Cup next Friday. We've got 2 games in hand on Watford, so there is a vision ahead where you can climb up the table just by getting a result here and there. Without, you don't have to win. Other teams we've got 2 games in hand on Watford and a game in hand on Charlton, but they've got 23 points, so they're 8 points ahead. So, and again, we don't have to finish in the top 2. The table doesn't make sense. It's been changed, and they haven't changed it properly. So, because the Premier League didn't give out the right information, that doesn't make sense to anyone. So, yeah, there you go. Now, moving on to... What are we moving on to? Oh, yes. So this is under 21s, under 18s. Probably the biggest game of the season for the under 18s. In some respects, the FA Youth Cup third round. The draw has been made today. Millwall have got a home game against... Scroll down and find out. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. Millwall under 18s land FA Youth Cup home tie. Everton. So yes, Millwall under 18s have been drawn at home to Everton in the FA Youth Cup third round. The Lions and the Toffees were paired together in Friday's draw with a tie to be played at the latest by Saturday the 13th of December. So basically there isn't no set date for rounds because it's youth football. You find a date where you can find a date. But they would like it be played before Saturday the 13th because the draw is going to be on Friday the 12th. Then I believe for the next round it's a month apart. So I believe Friday the 12th will be the fourth round draw. So yeah. It says full details on a confirmed date, venue, kickoff time, and any ticket selling arrangements will be confirmed on millwallfc.co.uk as soon as possible. Well, I believe that the game has to take place at the Den. I believe, because that's... There are... I believe in your application form each year to apply to be in the FA Youth Cup, you have to fill in what stadium you're going to use and get permission from the FA to do that. So you'll often find that, like, I think Arsenal, they play at Boreham Wood, and other teams, I think, is it Liverpool, they might play at Tranmere or something like that. So they do use other stadiums, but it's generally considered that you have to use your stadium. So unless Millwall have done the deal and filled in a form on their application, like where could they play it? At Dulwich Hamlet or Fisher? Like, what other grounds could they use? I don't. You would imagine it's going to be at the Den. The other ones have been at the Den in the past. And they're pretty good, decent affairs. Cup football is what it's all about. So Everton, big name. The first team's in the Premier League. Been there for a few years. But what about the under-18 team right here, right now? Well, they're in the under-18 Premier League Group North, and they've played 9 games. They've won 5, drawn 1, and lost 3. So, the team's only 14 teams in it, and they're 6 in the table. So they're in the middle of the table, but they are pretty good. They're only 3 points off second place, so they are a decent team. They're not one of the rubbish teams, which, Liverpool, damn. Liverpool have played 4, drawn 1, lost 5. They've scored 33, and they've conceded 33. That is, wow, what the hell was that about? But yeah, so they seem, this is gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game, although the only consistent thing about their results is that the inconsistency. They win and they lose, and then they win and then they lose, and then they win a couple and then they lose. So all we have to make sure is that we play them after they win, and they'll probably lose. So there you go. And coming on down to the FA.com to see their news article on it. Premier League and EFL Championship clubs join the FA Youth Cup in the third round. The draw for the 25-26 FA Youth Cup third round proper has been made as clubs from the Premier League and Championship join the competition at this stage. There will be 32 ties at this stage, scheduled to take place by Saturday the 13th of December 2025, with extra time and penalties to decide games which end all square after 90 minutes. So they've kept the extra time and penalties the extra time in the youth games, but the first team, they go straight to penalties. Make it make sense. Current Youth Cup holders Aston Villa will be on the road as they begin the defence. Don't care about that. For the 25-26 season, eligible players in matches involving NLS clubs, players must have been born on or after the 1st of September 2007 and before the 1st of September 2010. So there is... Oh, so you can't play like an under 14 player then. You can't... There is an age range. So it's not just under 18s, there is an age range. Oh no, that's NLS clubs. Why did they put this in this story? Meanwhile, in matches involving only clubs from the Premier League and or EFL players must have been born on or after the 1st of September 2007. Hang on a minute. So it's not even an under 18 competition because what? Before the 1st of September 2010. That's confusing. So there are different rules for different clubs. National League clubs, there is an age range. For Premier League and EFL teams, there is an age date. That is bizarre. Anyway, so the draw has pitted quite a few Premier League teams against each other. Obviously, Premier League teams are Premier League teams. That's the first team. It's not really going to translate. Might not translate to the youth teams, but you would imagine they would have pretty good youth teams. So if Millwall should or would get through this tie, if they do, you would imagine there will be less, good teams in the next round because they would have knocked each other out. So you could see, like, if you look at number 2, Needham Market or Southend versus Swindon Town or Dorking. So one of those teams is going to go through. But then you go down to number 9 and you see Tottenham Hotspur versus Brighton. One of those teams is getting knocked out. So that's going to help us if we do get to the next round. One less hard team to be drawn against. Just to confirm, number 11, Millwall versus Everton. And you can see Man City versus Fulham. Premier League teams playing each other. Brentford versus Chelsea. And Liverpool versus Charlton. And Preston North End versus West Ham. So there you go. That's the FA Youth Cup third round draw. Game at the Den coming up versus Everton. A lovely jubbly. What a joy! What a joy! Let's hopefully we can win that. It's not going to be easy, but we do have some very good players at that level. And this came up this morning from the southernnews.co.uk. Told you recently about Ralphie Beckwith and Lyndon Snellgrove, who had been called up to England and Wales. And here we go. Why they've been awarded scholarships at an earlier age than you normally would. Now, why is that? Well, they're unique cases. Academy Director details Mill's decision to award early scholarships to under-18s duo who recently represented England and Wales. Academy Director Scott Fitzgerald explained why Mill handed under-18s duo Ralphie Beckwith and Lyndon Snellgrove early scholarships, calling them unique cases. The pair were signed to their scholarship deals in March while still the under-16s, although both made appearances for the under-18s last season. Both have been playing regularly for the under-18s this campaign. Snellgrove, a left-footed defender, was called up to England under-17s last week for their fixtures against USA, Ivory Coast and Australia. And Beckwith, a midfielder, also starred for Wales under-16s, winning man of the match against Turkey after scoring a penalty and captaining his side to a 2-1 win. Fitzgerald spoke about the talented pair. oh, they're unique cases, So I wouldn't say that you do that too often. We felt that we wanted to commit a long-term plan for the guys. Thankfully, their parents and the boys themselves both believed in what we're trying to do, and we have regular meetings with the parents and the players to discuss what we would do and are we doing that, because it's important that we back that up. But we're delighted that those two guys signed early. Asked what it was about them that made the club offer them early deals, Fitzgerald said, oh, they're talented footballers, that's for sure, and they're really grounded people, and we gave the parents huge credit for that. They came in every time, they work hard, and they want to be the best that they can be within the group. They're leaders, but they're still young boys, and they've shown a real attitude to try and become a footballer, really, and they've still got a hell of a long way to go. But at this moment, we're very pleased with their progress. So there you go. I think the deal was, for them to get fast tracked, but you do want to be careful with that. Now, game today, Czechia under-21s versus Serbia under-21s, and we have another mystery that needs to be solved. Will it be solved? I don't know. I covered this before last international break. The curious case of the missing Serb. So, Serbia under-21s, they go away to Czechia in a friendly game. We don't have Mihailo Ivanovic in the lineup. He's not anywhere to be seen. You go to the bench. He did not get subbed on, and he's not listed as any of the other subs. What's going on? Now, last time out, he withdrew from the squad. Was it last time out or the time before? Maybe it's September. I think maybe he did play in October. September, he disappeared. So he didn't go with them. He went back to Millwall, and he stayed at Millwall, and he trained at Millwall. And he didn't go to Czechia to play in this game. What's going on there? And if you go here, this is from our FSS.rs, which is Republic Serbia. That's their country code. It's the Football Soccer Federation, Football S Serbia. And they got pictures from training before the game today. Walk, training and statements of coaches Zoran Mirkovic and Matija Mitrovic before the match with Czech Republic. We call them Czechia now, dear. And you can see here, I can't really see Ivanovic. Is that him at the back? I'm not sure, though. Nice that they're all walking on the path and not going on the grass. Nice, polite young men out in Serbia. So again, I'm trying to see him. I can't see him. Is he here? Can you see him? Obviously, not the best of photos to try and pick someone, but can't see him. So again, where is Mihailo Ivanovic? Did he even go out there? So they were 3 days in Belgrade, and then they travelled to Czechia in Pardubice, and he didn't play in the game. I think they've got another game against USA. I'm not too sure. But what is going on? What is going on? Not only that, but if you look on the right hand side, you can see here, this is dated today, a transfer from the under-21s to the A team. Head coach Veljko Paunovic invited Jovan Milicevic. So the Serbian national team, the men's team, has called up an under-21 player, and I believe he's a striker. What's his name? Jovan Milicevic. That's him there, the guy who scored. So he scored in the under-21 game in Czechia, and now he's been called up to the first team. And so, where is Ivanovic? Where is he? He's not there. Again, weird confusing. Not only that, but you know, we've seen that he's off the boil for Millwall. He's not playing as well as he was. He doesn't seem to be playing the game, and we some of us attribute that to him being one up front rather than two. But maybe there's something else going on. Maybe he has an injury that he can kind of play with, but maybe he needs surgery or something, or there's something going on. And they're covering it up and they're hiding it, and you know, they're trying to get through until January, I imagine, when they'll probably try and bring someone else in. But I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I think that if that's the case, you know, if they're not even going to entertain playing Langstaff and giving Ivanovic, you know, the treatment that he needs, maybe, you know, Langstaff's going to be off as well. That obviously don't think that's been that much of a success. I think the highlight of Langstaff's Millwall career so far is that goal at Norwich, the winning goal at Norwich. Other than that, it's been few and far between, isn't it? So we'll see what happens. Maybe they're going to have to loan out Langstaff to get the funds to bring in a new striker. I don't know, but we'll see where we are in the table come the January the 1st, I would imagine. But yes, what is going on with Mihailo Ivanovic? Indeed. A curious case of the missing Serb by Agatha Christie. Now, looking ahead to the future. Not that far in the future, tomorrow. It's less than 24 hours. You may have heard of this website called YouTube, youtube.com. If you go to the channel of Scotland national team, which only has 179,000 subscribers, where are you, Scottish people? Subscribe. You can see Scotland under 21s are away at fellow British team Gibraltar. Yes, I said it. Obviously, Danny Kelly, he's one of their better players. He should be playing in this game. If he's missing, then I will be concerned. And this game is being shown live on YouTube for free. Aren't you lucky that you get to watch that? So if Danny Kelly is named in the lineup, come and have a check. What time is it? 6 o'clock. It kicks off at 6 o'clock Saturday night. So there you go. Live on YouTube for free. And you would imagine that Scotland should be able to beat Gibraltar. But, you know, you never know. You never know. Not only that, but tomorrow, I believe, tomorrow night going into Sunday morning, this is UK time, GMT, on FIFA Plus, plus.fifa.com, but there is a specification with that. Colombia versus New Zealand, obviously Max Crocombe, will he play in that game? He might now, because he's actually playing for Millwall. Before, in the last international break, he didn't play for New Zealand. And I think that's because he was on the bench. And the other guy, you know, so I think he kind of lost his place. You know, they got the World Cup coming up next summer. They need to be playing players that are playing. So, although, you know, you would imagine if he's fit, he's going to go to the World Cup. But I'm sure he would want to play, although you would imagine if they play badly in the first two games or get two bad results, and if the third game's a dead rubber, you would imagine that they would give players a chance, you know, and not be dicks about it. But so this game isn't actually in Colombia, because, you know, Colombia is a third world country and it is quite dangerous. So they've decided to play in Florida. Wow, that's not dangerous. In Fort Lauderdale. Actually, I think that's quite a nice place, isn't it? Isn't that where all the golfers live? Tiger Woods. So, yeah, this game is, as it says, watch free. So another game that you can watch for free. You know, you don't need to pay for Sky. All you have to do is wait once a month, and you get to watch all these international games for free. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, so we'll see again. See if he's named in the lineup. If he's named in the lineup, you can watch the game. See how he gets on. If you're bored without not watching any football. Like I said, there was a caveat though. They did this last time, and I went onto the website and it wasn't there because I think it's geo blocked to either Colombia or New Zealand, but this one to New Zealand. So I got to that by going to the website, their website, New Zealand Football, nzfootball.co.nz, and clicking on international all whites and then fixtures, and then where it says watch, I clicked on that, and then that took me to the thing. So I don't know if it's going to work. If it doesn't, you can use a VPN and pretend that you're in New Zealand and you will still get to be able to watch it. Or if you are Tiger Woods, hello Tiger, how are you doing? And you are living in Fort Lauderdale or nearby, you can go to the game. You can buy an expensively overpriced ticket from Ticketmaster.com. It's at the Chase Stadium, Fort Lauderdale. And all of the cheaper tickets have already gone. And the cheapest ticket available now is $138, which is about £105. Yes, seriously, £105 for a friendly game. And there are no, you hear online, Americans complaining about these kinds of things that they have to deal with. But I mean, there are no price brackets. The price of a seat is the price of a seat. Like, are you filling a seat? Well, then you pay for the price of a seat. It doesn't matter if you're a child, a man or woman, how old you are. The seat costs what the seat costs. And at the moment, the cheapest one is 138 buckaroonies. And obviously that doesn't include all of the costs that they're going to add on. Got 218, 197, so that's to 262. So you can see that this is quite insane, really. I wouldn't pay £105 to watch this. I would probably just watch it on FIFA Plus for free. So there you go. This is, as I said, Saturday. So local time in Florida, 7 p.m, but in our time that's around midnight 30. For some reason it says there midnight 30. Though that doesn't make sense, because why would it kick off at 30 when it says 7 here? Unless that's trying to get you into the ground early, so then you just stuff your face with overpriced concessions as well. Wow. And today, talking of trying to sell tickets, obviously, this is an advert for Ticketmaster. Don't buy this ticket. It's overpriced. It's insane how much they're paying. Do not buy a ticket from Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster are awful. Moving on to this, Millwall trying to sell tickets, but they start off by telling you how hard it will be for you to get there by public transport. So this is from millfc.co.uk. Obviously, it's 4 weeks to go until Christmas. We're on the 14th of November, so 31 days to go. 31 days to go. 31 days to go. That's still Christmas. Obviously, we got games on Boxing Day. So rather bizarrely, this year, all 3 of the festive fixtures are at home, which is insane. How have we done that? Who did we bribe for that? Or did they get the AI to do the fixtures and it's fucked them up? But South Bermondsey train station will be closed over the week. Isn't that funny? Now, so maybe someone knew that was going to happen and they fucked with us, because how have we got all three festive fixtures at home, and that's bizarrely when South Bermondsey is going to be closed for the whole week? That's interesting, isn't it? Conspiracy? Maybe. South Bermondsey station will be closed over the festive period due to refurbishment. Although, what are they doing? Because you know me, I love looking at a planning application and there doesn't seem to be one. So, they're not building anything. There was some talk about them, in the future, trying to put a lift in there. But, because it's starting to get more and more used because they're building all these bloody flats down there, aren't they? So, it is, you can notice it. Obviously, I imagine if you're watching this, you probably only, if you do use the station, you only use it on match days if you live out in the area. But, if you live in the area or you go through there, or you have to get off there and use the station outside of Millwall match days, it is starting to get busier. There are more people getting off at the station as you go into London Bridge or coming the other way, and there are more people, getting on as well. So, yeah, it is getting busier. So what the fuck are they doing? I think I'm going to guess, and I'm going to say that they're going to fuck around with the cycle lane, and they're probably going to paint one down, or they're going to fix the fucking rickety platform that's made out of wood that they fixed 5 years ago, and they fucked it up then, and it was lopsided. So that's probably like a health and safety thing, massive. You've got a massive event stadium nearby that uses the station a lot. 23 occasions every year, and the fucking platform's fucking dog shit. So we'll see what they do, but there's no planning permissions in. So it's closing. South Bermondsey will be closed from 27th of December to Sunday the 4th of January. Lions fans travelling by train to the home Sky Bet Championship fixtures against Bristol City and Swansea City are advised to seek alternative travel. In addition, a very limited service will run on Boxing Day as Millwall play Ipswich Town. Friday the 26th of December, kick-off 1pm, meaning that supporters are advised to also check their travel arrangements ahead of time. Well, I can tell you now, there are no trains. Now, if you go to Millwall on Boxing Day, you know that there basically is no trains. There's never any trains. This year, however, there are some trains. They are running a service, so I don't know how they've done that. Maybe that's part of the pay deal that the striking train drivers got, that they got more money but they had to work on Boxing Day. I don't know. But none of these Boxing Day services will be running through South Bermondsey, which will be, I suppose, it's closed from the 27th, but it's obviously closed on the 26th as well, because there's no fucking trains running through there. In fact, there's no trains running to London Bridge at all on the southeastern trains or the southern trains. The southern trains that are running, for some reason, they used to only run trains to Gatwick because of people trying to catch flights. They run trains to Gatwick from London Victoria. This time, they are running trains from Croydon to London Victoria and from Gatwick to London Victoria as well. And some of them are stopping, some of them are fast. So again, and you can rather hopefully, it says at the bottom, tickets are on sale for all three fixtures. Back the boys at the links below. So they've just told you it's going to be hard for you to get to the game with public transport. Do the parking things still apply on bank holidays? So you might be able to drive and park for free on the 26th of December, but I think Monday is not a bank holiday, so the parking wardens will probably be out trying to fuck you up on that. And Sunday, of course, what's the parking like on Sunday now? This game hasn't been moved for television. It's been moved because there's a game on New Year's, which is an away game. So we've got 3 home games and 1 away game. It's been moved because you can't have a Saturday game on the 3rd if you got games on the 1st, which is the Thursday, because you're going to have one day off and then you're back at it. But you can't really do that. You need at least 2 days. That's what they do for Good Friday and Easter Monday. They have the 2-day break, and then they're back at it. So, just a little look before we finish the video. This is from southernrailway.com. Planned engineering work. If you click on the 26th, the Boxing Day, which is, just to remind you, if we go down, Ipswich, it's 1 p.m. 1 p.m. So if you did intend to use the trains, you can see here, 2 trains per hour will run between Victoria and Gatwick, calling at Clapham Junction and East Croydon. That's it. That's from 5 until 8:30. So, they're running trains for 5 a.m. So if you live in Croydon, you're sorted. From 8:30 until 9 in the evening, 1 train per hour between Victoria and Gatwick, calling at Clapham Junction, East Croydon. 1 train per hour between Victoria and Brighton, calling at Clapham Junction, East Croydon, Three Bridges and Haywards Heath. So those are the fast trains. And then 2 trains per hour, and this is a stopping service, between London, Victoria and Sutton via Selhurst and West Croydon, calling at Battersea Park, Clapham Junction, Wandsworth Common, Balham, etc., etc., etc. So going nowhere near the Den. Nowhere near the Den. 2 trains per hour will run between Victoria and East Croydon via Crystal Palace. Again, nowhere near the Den. Calling at Battersea Park, Clapham Junction, Balham, Gypsy Hill, Palace, etc. And then between 9 and 11 in the evening, they're going back to just the runs between Victoria and Gatwick, the fast trains. That's the trains. However, I do believe, so obviously you know this, if you go to the games on Boxing Day, you know it's going to be fucked up. I do believe, so if you're coming from Croydon or down that way, if you get to the overground, I think it's running from West Croydon up to the one that goes to New Cross Gate. So whatever that is, what's that? Brockley, Forest Hill, New Cross Gate, Surrey Quays. So get off at New Cross Gate or Surrey Quays and walk to the ground. You should be fine. It's going on to Monday the 29th, the other home game. You can see here the information. No trains at South Bermondsey from 27th to the 4th. Engineering work, it doesn't tell us what it is. No trains will call at the station during this period, but trains are running through. So if you have a season ticket that's on paper, you can use it on the local buses, but again, they are not putting on a replacement bus service. So they're closing. You can't, just because it's one station, they're not closing the line. The line's still running, but the station's closed, so they're not using. So I guess if you do buy a ticket, you could get off at what's the next station? Queens Road, Peckham, and then get the P12. But again, that's on diversion. It used to go down the Old Auburn Road. It doesn't go down the Old Auburn Road anymore. So yeah, I mean, yeah, fucking shit, innit? And then the next one, this is even better, because if we go to the 4th, the Swansea home game, there are replacement buses between London Bridge and Tulse Hill via Peckham Rye, which is the line that goes through South Bermondsey, although South Bermondsey is closed anyway. As you go underneath, and you'll see no trains at South Bermondsey. So if there's no trains at South Bermondsey, will there be no replacement bus service at South Bermondsey? Because there's no trains there, so why would that stop there? It wouldn't. Not only that, but in the past, when there has been a match day and the station has been closed and they have put on replacement bus services, those bus services do not stop at South Bermondsey when the match is on. And same as when the P12 did run down the Old Road, when the match was on, it was on diversion, because they don't want a load of Millwall fans jumping on, because it can't handle it. It can't handle it. So that's going on as well. let's just read this. So we want Sunday. And this is between Beckenham Junction as well. So if you come from Beckenham Junction, you're messed up as well. Closing all lines. Engineering work is taking place between London Bridge and Tulse via Peckham Rye. Closing all lines. Buses will replace trains between London Bridge and Tulse via Peckham Rye. On Friday and Saturday, Beckenham Junction services will only run between Tulse and Beckenham Junction. Obviously, that's not Sunday. So they are running a slight service on Friday and Saturday, and a slight service on... Why are they saying that's a different route, though? On Saturday, Uckfield trains will run between East Croydon and Uckfield. A train service will also run between Tulse and East Croydon. Yeah, of course. So once you get off the bus, then you can get on an actual train. And they say if you have a paper ticket, you can get from London Bridge to Canada Water on the Jubilee line, or between Canada Water and Peckham Rye on the Overground, and that's with your train ticket. So yeah, that's going to be fun. So they're suggesting you walk up to Peckham Rye. No, you walk up to Canada Water and get an Overground train to Peckham Rye, and then I guess switch over to a southeastern service. I don't know. But yeah, so that's the train line going through South Bermondsey, and just to confirm, Southeastern Railway, there are no services on the 25th and the 26th. For some reason on the 20th. So yeah, there's no services on the 26th of Southeastern, so there are no trains going into London Bridge from the Southeastern from Kent. You know, that's not happening. The 29th, just not going to Victoria, and the 4th, which is for the Swansea game, no trains at Charing Cross or Waterloo East. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and choo choo. Do 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 do.